Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with the Fitzwilliam String Quartet complete Decca recordings. This is really kind of cool. They were a great group. They really were. 15 CDs worth. They did some terrific stuff. And I remember when these discs were coming out, and I collected them at the time, and they were very, very enjoyable. They really were. The most important thing in here, let's just say right away, was the complete Shostakovich quartet cycle. It was, I believe, the first Shostakovich quartet cycle available in the West. It was for a long time just about a reference recording because we didn't have much choice. There was the Borodin quartet, from Russia, if you could get it. And the Shostakovich quartet, of course, did them, but those weren't available. Again, that was in Russia. And so this was your choice for all of them, and they're very, very good performances. I mean, it was a real enterprising thing to do at the time. Now, of course, Shostakovich quartet cycles are a dime a dozen, and many of you have asked me if I was going to, do the Shostakovich quartets, and I keep saying, it's hard. It's hard because they're recent works that everybody plays well. I don't think there are any bad complete cycles. And so, what are you going to say? I mean, they're virtually all really good, but this was the first one, and it's held up extremely well. They're absolutely beautiful performances, and I'm very, very impressed hearing them again now. It's CDs 1 through 8 of 15. So, for that alone, it's worth having if you didn't get them separately when you got them. And then we've got Beethoven Quartets 13 and 15, including the Grosse Fuga. They never did more. That's it for Beethoven. And it was really, they're fine performances. Everyone will have their favorites. So do they really matter? Well, not really. I mean, what can you say, right? It was something that never really happened. If they'd fleshed out their Beethoven, we would have more to say. Because the singleton performances, they're in the box, so you've got them. There you go. Schubert String Quintet with Christopher van Kempen. This is a terrific Schubert String Quintet. It really is wonderful. And it was highly, 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 highly praised when it came out, and deservedly so. It's first class, gorgeous, with a wonderfully ethereal second movement and plenty of guts in the scherzo and the finale. It's really, really just great. So that's really nice to have. The Brahms Clarinet Quintet with Alan Hecker and Hugo Wolf's Italian Serenade. Okay, again, there are a million Brahms Clarinet Quintets. You're going to go for the clarinetist as much as for the string quartet soloist. So it's good that it's in the box, because otherwise it would have just drowned in a sea of clarinet quintosity, right? I mean, we know that. Borodin String Quartets 1 and 2. Great! I mean, of course, you got to get the ones with the Borodin Quartet, naturally. But these are beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And they really fell. They slid under the door. Nobody knew about this stuff when they first came out or cared about them. Let's put it that way. Because the Borodin Quartets don't get a lot of play or a lot of love, for that matter, although they're masterpieces. They really are, both of them. They're both first-rate pieces. And then to have, an English group doing it when the Russian one was so readily available, it was on EMI, as a license from Melodia, they weren't going to get time of day, and they deserved it because they're lovely performances. And the Franck String Quartet, this was great. I mean, the Franck String Quartet isn't terribly popular. It's a big Franckian pile of chromatic sludge, but it's really good chromatic sludge. It's sludge that knows the joy of sludginess, or sludgitude. Oh, it's wonderful. So, this was a major release too, at a time when there just weren't many recordings of the Franck Quartet. So that's delightful. And last but not least, another major release, Sibelius, his one string quartet that matters, his mature one, Voces Intimae, Intimate Voices, and the Delius String Quartet. Where are you going to find that? I mean, you just aren't. You're not. I mean, so this is a really interesting box. It has, aside from the Schubert Quintet, the Brahms Clarinet Quintet, and that Beethoven thing, it's mostly 12 out of 15 discs. Really interesting stuff. Not the same old, not by any stretch of the imagination. And played by a wonderful group that didn't make that many records. this is about it for Decca anyway. And I don't remember where the other ones are. There weren't that many other ones. So this is great. It's wonderful to have. I'm so happy to see this coming out. I think it's maybe they'll sell a few in England. Probably a bit of a risk releasing it, all things considered. But yeah, it's great stuff. Fitzwilliam String Quartet, complete on Decca. Go for it. Take care.